And welcome to Roadside Notes. I'm Christopher, the Route 66 Chaplain, and these are readings from the Faith and Good Courage Journal found at faithandgoodcourage.com. These are my stories from and for the road, a little grace for the miles ahead, and reminders that hope still travels with us. This journal, Seeing Past the Look, is from my entry on March 12, 2026. Seeing Past the Look happened in a diner, the kind with vinyl booth and coffee that never quite tastes the same twice. The bell on the door rang. In walked a woman who didn't fit the room. Her hair was stringy and oddly colored. Her skin a canvas of tattoos that told stories no one had asked her about. And she moved with this quiet caution of someone used to being measured before being welcomed. I noticed the shift immediately. Forks paused, eyes followed. A few smirks didn't even bother hiding. The room decided who she was before she even sat down. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. We all have. It's fast, efficient, comfortable. Judgment often is. She slid into her booth by herself and studied the menu like she'd been trying not to take up too much space. That's when it hit me, how familiar that posture is. Not just to her, but to anyone who's ever walked into a room knowing they've already been assessed. Diners are funny like that. They're supposed to be neutral ground. Coffee for everyone. Breakfast served all day. Seeing past the look. But even there, lines get drawn. Some folks are greeted by name. Others are tolerated. And a few are silently questioned just before exiting. I caught myself watching the room instead of her at first, watching their reactions, watching how easy it was for people to reduce a human being to an appearance. Then I looked at her face. Not the hair, not the ink, her eyes. They weren't hard. They weren't angry. They were tired. Not sleepy tired, but life tired. The kind that comes from being invisible too often and misunderstood too easily. The road has taught me to pause in moments like that, to slow the impulse to categorize instead of, a quieter question. What's the story I don't know yet? When the waitress came by, I asked her to add one more breakfast to my ticket and deliver it anonymously. No explanation, no spotlight, just food. When the plate arrived at her table, the woman looked confused, then cautious, then overwhelmed in a way that, didn't ask for attention but couldn't hide gratitude either. I didn't wave, I didn't nod, I didn't need to let her know it was me. What I did do was slide one of my roadside notes to the waitress and ask her to pass it along. Just a small note card, nothing fancy. 8 words that have carried more weight than more sermons I've said, or more sermons that I've even heard. The world's a better place because you're in it. That was it. No signature, no scripture reference, no explanation whatsoever. Here's what the road keeps teaching me mile after mile. People don't need fixing as much as they need to be seen. Most hearts don't need advice. They need recognition. They need someone to look past the packaging and acknowledge the person inside. We're all walking around hoping someone notices our eyes instead of our armor. Whether that armor looks like tattoos, wild hair, pressed pearls, or polished smiles. It doesn't matter nearly as much as we pretend that it does. Kindness doesn't ask for qualifications. Love doesn't require familiarity. And grace doesn't wait for us to feel comfortable. When I left the diner, I didn't wait around to see her reaction. I didn't need to. The work was already done. Not because I bought breakfast, but because one brief moment, someone used to being judged was simply seen. In my roadside reflection, I think we underestimate how hungry people are to be recognized. Not admired, not approved of, just seen. The road teaches you that appearances lie, but eyes rarely do. If you slow down long enough to meet someone there, you'll often find a heart that's been carrying more than it should have all along. Maybe today the invitation isn't to fix anyone or figure them out. Maybe it's simply to offer a small kindness without an explanation and trust that love knows where to land. Sometimes a quiet breakfast and a few honest words can do more healing than 1,000 loud opinions ever will. Travel well, my friends. Have faith and good courage.